Tony Robbins events and network marketing events are so powerful, but they don't actually work. What happens is you leave the event, you go home, and then you fall back into the default state of being. Hi, Coach Tony here. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be talking about something that kept me stuck for years, actually. And it keeps a lot of people stuck with manifesting what they don't want over and over again. And so if that's you, if you have struggled to manifest more money, a better relationship, better health, whatever that looks like for you, you're going to want to stick around for this entire video because we're going to talk about how to actually shift your state of being and actually stay there so that you can actually manifest and attract and create whatever it is you desire. But what happens with most people, myself included, is they shift their state, but then they just come right back to their default state. Well, when you change your state, you change your life. But it's not enough to just change your state one time. We've got to shift our actual default state. So your default state of being is what you are actually manifesting from. And this diagram I'm going to share with you here really highlights what's actually going on. Your default state on the bottom there, let's just say it's sad, you're feeling rejected, you're desperate, you're poor, you're unhealthy, whatever that looks like for you. That's your default state down there. Your desired state is that blue line up above, right? You want to be happy. You want to be included or desired and more confident, more abundant, whatever that looks like, right? As your desired state. Well, what happens is maybe you achieve that state or you come close to achieving that state throughout the day, right? This line in this little graph here represents a day. Well, most of the day, you'll notice the green dotted line here. That's actually what you're manifesting in your life. That's what you're creating. That's the energy you're giving off. It is your default state. That's why changing your state will change your life, because if you can shift your default state of being, it's going to change everything. It will change your life experience. So how do we actually do that though? That's what I want to share in today's video for you. And I'm going to provide one of the techniques I give my coaching clients that you can try out for yourself. And it's really just a cool exercise that will allow you to kind of tie to your default state and practice being there more often throughout the day. And so in just a moment, I'm going to be sharing that exercise, but I really want to nail this point home for you today before we jump into the exercise so that you know kind of what to expect on your journey here, okay? So the idea here is if your default state is negative, it's bad, it's victim-based, it's one of these things or all of these things in this diagram, right? You're sad, you're lonely, you're rejected, whatever's going on in your life, right? Well, if that's your default state of being, we want to start to make the shift. Well, there's really two areas we can work on, and I highly recommend working on both of them because when you shift in one area, it impacts the other and vice versa. What are the two areas? It's your internal environment and your external environment. Okay, your internal environment is your state of mind. It's what you're thinking, it's what you're believing, it's your assumptions, it's your expectations, it's your convictions, it's all the things going on in your mind, right? And processing on the screen of your imagination throughout the day. Well, your external environment, it's your home environment, it's your office or work environment. It's the exterior space that you're working out of. Well, here's the main idea. If you can start shifting and changing your external environment and internal environment, you're going to start to shift states. And if you can shift your entire default state of being in any area of your life, that area is going to drastically change. Okay. And so this is not just a one-time situation, although you could make a declaration and just choose to no longer be in your default state. You can choose to be in your desired state from here on out, actually. And you can make a strong, powerful declaration to yourself and then only accept that for your future moving forward. But that's kind of hard to do. And I've only kind of seen it happen a few times. Most people, I've worked with hundreds of people at this point. Most people, they have to make the shift incrementally, just like you're working out, right? You're not going to build tons of muscle working out just one time. It's going to be, you got to go to the gym on a regular basis. And actually, we're going to talk about this in just a moment. But the main idea here is if you shift your external environment and your internal environment, you're going to eventually shift your default state of being. And this is ultimately what you want to get to is this diagram here. Is your new default state of being is happy, included, accepted, confident, abundant, right? Whatever that looked like, which used to be your desired state is now your new default state of being. That's what I want you to help you get to. And then from there, what happens is you've literally raised your state of being, your consciousness. So now from there, you can still elevate it. And what does that look like is the top orange bar. You can become super happy, very desired, unconditionally loved, extremely confident and abundant. And all of those things, you could just enhance how you already feel. And that's how you know you've succeeded, because you just get more and more of what it is you desire. And that's what I want for everyone, is to help get you to your desired state and stay there and live from that state. And then from there, everything else is just better and more enhanced. That's really what I want for you. So this is how you do it though, with this exercise I'm going to share with you here. So here's what you do. Step number 1, you're going to write on a piece of paper your desired state of being, your desired reality for your life. What does that look like? It could be in all areas or one area. It doesn't really matter. Just write down what it is that you desire. And then from there, what you're going to do is define, what does that state of being look like? In other words, what is that version of you have, is doing, and is being on a regular basis? Okay, write down everything. More money, better relationship, again, whatever that looks like, better health, more energy, and be very specific. Like, what actually does life look like from that desired point? Okay. Then what you're going to do is write down how it feels as this version of yourself. How does it feel to have that amazing, loving relationship? How does it feel to be super abundant and to be making lots of money every day and every week and every month? Write down how it feels. And the last most important piece here is write down, what is that version of you doing on a daily basis? How are you showing up on a daily basis? And even if you're not entirely sure what you're doing, you could just imagine, what do you think you would need to be doing in order to have or be that version of yourself, right? So in other words, I'm going to give you an example here. Let's just say you want to lose weight, be healthier, stronger, and more fit. Well, what do you think that version of yourself is actually doing on a regular basis? They're likely eating healthier. They're likely being more active. They're likely being more disciplined. They're likely showing up with a little bit more confidence in their life, right? And taking the reins, so to speak, of their life. They're probably not giving up as much as you might be right now, right? So maybe they fostered a nice I can do it attitude. What are all the things though? Like, you can write down all the things that you can imagine you would be doing as that version of yourself. You could do this with any area though. Identify as many characteristics and qualities that you can possibly identify. So write it down, exactly what you think you would need to be doing. And what you do for the last part of this exercise, we're going to start creating new habits that align with the state of being that you desire to be. And it's going to be something you can actually work towards every single day and start doing more of. And when you create a habit out of it, guess what? You've successfully shifted your state. Because motion creates emotion and vice versa. Emotion creates motion. What does it actually mean? Well, I talk about this in another video and I'll pin it to the top here for you. But the idea is, when you shift states and you're doing something different, it's going to create a new feeling state within you. Well, when you shift states on a regular basis, in other words, let's just say you go to the gym on a regular basis, you become a person who goes to the gym on a regular basis. You become more disciplined. You become more active. You become, and you start living from the desired state of being healthier and losing weight. If you start meal prepping healthy meals every day and you make a habit out of it, guess what? You now become a person who's eating healthy on a regular basis and takes it serious. You become a person who prioritizes their health, right? That's who you have to be. That's what your healthy version is actually doing. They prioritize their health. And again, in all the areas this applies. So the last piece of the puzzle here, these are internal environmental shifts, okay? But what you can do is externally, you could set yourself up for success as well. You could start hanging around people who already are healthy, who already are loving and caring and fun and outgoing, if that's who you desire to be around and that's who you desire to attract. You could start to hang around groups of people who already have those qualities and characteristics, in other words, right? Because what happens is you acclimate to the environment that you are living in. And again, your default state is associated with an outer external environment. So what's really cool is you could start to shift your outer environment as well. Not only the people in it, but even your actual environment. If your environment's chaotic, that's where I start with first. You could start by cleaning up and organizing your external environment so that you can actually start with a clean slate. And now you can create whatever environment you need to create to be that version of yourself more effectively, right? So I created a gym downstairs of my office right here. I actually created a whole barn for myself that houses my office, my gym, my kids' trampoline, and our karate dojo and studio and all that stuff. Even has a rock wall that I'm putting together right now. And it's going to have a Ninja Warrior course and all the things that'll help us train and be active in the ways that we want to be. But you can create whatever it is you want to create actually for yourself to make it easier. So I don't even have to leave my house to have a full gym. Like, how awesome is that? Well, my best advice to you is make it more convenient to be the version you want to be, right? Create the outer environment and the inner environment. This is how you do it though, through this little exercise, is you identify the qualities and characteristics and what that version of yourself is doing on a daily basis. And you start to actually step in and you choose one of them every day and you practice doing that one thing more and more each day. You make a habit out of it. And if there's like 10 or 15 characteristics, then you pick one or two to work on each week until it becomes a habit. Then you choose the next one or two and you keep going and so on and so forth until you embody the entire list and you've successfully shifted your state of being. But I'm here to tell you, it is hard to do by yourself. That's why your environment, your outer environment, is so powerful. And that's why coaching is so incredibly powerful. If you hire a coach like me, that's the value we provide actually, is helping you see that shift through all the way until you make the shift actually and hold you accountable to your actions every week, right? That's the true value of a coach, right? They keep you accountable. And yeah, you might know what to do, but if you're not doing it and you're not in the state of it most dominantly throughout the day, then you're not actually achieving and manifesting what it is you desire. And I only know that because that was me a couple of years ago. I was trying to do the actions and I was trying to make the shifts, but I hired lots of coaches to help me. I hired lots of coaches to kind of keep me accountable, to keep seeing it through until I reach my desired state. Well, for my next desired state, I've hired some new coaches and they're helping me along. And that's all you do. You keep going and keep progressing. You surround yourself with the people who are winning in that area that you want to win at as well. That's why Tony Robbins events and network marketing events are so powerful, because you're among all of the people who are ambitious and you're in the energy of all the people who are winning and you're in the vibe, right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Well, what happens though, is as awesome as those are, it's fleeting. The event only lasts a few days. And then what happens when you leave the event, you go home and then you fall back into the default state of being. And maybe you take that energy with you for a few days or a few weeks, but ultimately you go back down to your default state of being. That's why one of the best tips I can give you is if you are a part of a network marketing or affiliate company or one of those self-development gurus events, right? If you can befriend and create a mastermind, a mini version of the event coming out of the event, it's incredibly powerful, because what does that do is it surrounds you with people and keeps you surrounded moving forward. You can, even if it's just a handful of people that you meet there, you guys can create your own mastermind where you meet on a regular basis, maybe weekly, monthly basis, and keep you vibing high, keeping you in that winning energy more often than not. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is you're trying to shift into that energy so that it becomes your default state. That's really what we're trying to do here. Okay. Hope that makes sense. So with that, I hope this video was very valuable to you. And I highly recommend you do the exercise we talked about today so that you can actually uncover the actions and the characteristics and qualities you need to start embodying on a regular basis in order to actually shift your default state for good. So with that though, if you understood what I talked about on today's video, but you need help and you want accountability to really help you see it through to get you to the other side of your desire, then reach out to me by either commenting below, emailing me at tony@mindbodyevolution.com, or even booking some time on my calendar, which there's going to be a link in the description to my calendar. And you can just book some time on there that works best for you. And it's starting to fill up and book out. So make sure you schedule on there before it does fill up over the next couple of weeks here. But reach out so I can help you reach your goals and desires way more effectively and way faster for yourself. Okay. But with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you did like this video, make sure you like and comment below and let me know what you thought of this information. I love reading your comments and I love it when you share your wins with me. It makes my day. You have no idea. So thank you. Continue sharing your wins with me, you guys. It's super exciting. But with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I appreciate it very much. See you in the next video.